Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, people, to Jason Gooner TV. It is another episode of the EPL Weekly Review Show. This time is game week 7, and you know we are here to break down all the games in the EPL this week. Of course, we're heading into the international break, so all the leagues around Europe got finished off with games today, and we're gonna take a little glimpse into some of the top 5 leagues as well, just see what how things are shaping up in those leagues as well. But you know, this is an EPL driven show, so we're gonna look at the EPL games in depth. Of course, everybody that took part in the weekly predictions want to reveal the top ones for the week. Obviously, there's a champion, so we are going to reveal that, and of course, somebody has to finish in last place. And sadly, on this show, you then are the donkey of the week, and so there is one person this week that takes home that dubious title. All right, so stay tuned to see the reveal, and make sure that you guys stick around for um, all the recaps of all the games. There were 10 matches played, obviously, this weekend. And, obviously, we like to start the show always when we just want to feel how people feel about the weekend's games. So if your team got 3 points this weekend, just put a 3 in the chat. Just put a 3 in the chat from early out. I'm going to put mine because, yes, my team got the 3 points. So I'm going to put mine right away in the chat. Big up to Warren Webster in the building. Big up to Drew Ross in the building. Says like and subscribe, peeps. That's what you need to do. You don't know the thing. Go. It is YouTube, people. So you have to follow those rules. Like, share, and subscribe. You don't know this is a football channel. We cover the EPL intensely. Obviously, you can hear me speaking. So I'm a Jamaican. So I do cover all the national teams of Jamaica, also JPL clubs, Caribbean Cup, CONCACAF Champions League. It's a football channel, people. You don't know. So you're going to get to talk football here. So if you love football, you will love this channel right here. So big up to Warren Webster passing through. Big up to Skip. Looks like the notification works. All right, that is good to know. People, if you are a member of the channel or you subscribe to the channel, just make sure that you are turning on your bell notifications. It is very, very, very important that you guys do that. All right. Um, like, share, and subscribe. Says Skip. Big up, big up, big up, Skip. Let them know. Yeah, man. 3 Gunners for life. Threes. All the Spurs this week get to put them threes. You don't know. Big 3. That is it. Big 3 points. You don't know the thing go. All right. So people, look. We obviously have an EPL review and preview show, but this week, like how we're going into the international break, I did want to just put a spotlight on the other leagues in Europe, the top 5 ones especially, right? So let's take a look at La Liga, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, and Serie A, just to see how they are shaping out going into this the second international window since the season has started. And of course, then we will move into move right into the EPL games for the week. Real Bala. I skip call you, Jaja. So I saw. No, all right, I'm not sure. Bless up, Joseph. Big up yourself, Joseph. Um, yeah, man. How you pick them to go this week, Joseph? Not three bad, not three bad. This week, it looked like the people might get better because there weren't many bad records this week for all the people that pick. No man, I get the post. Oh, okay, you get the post. Another notification them car. Some people that tell me that you were the only one, Skip. There's like 4 other people say the same thing. But it look like it's a YouTube thing because it happened to a lot of other channels as well. Arsenal now joke for real. Man, I tell you, Warren, we look like a unit right now. If we ever finish with chance, then people dead in the man. Cause we could have get aside the West Ham. Then could have get buried. I'm gonna look back on some chance we missed start. Bless up, Chile. Very workman-like win today. 1 goal from Haaland and lock shop. Even though we could have scored a few more still. Big up Nitro. Yeah, man. Gunners. 1 Gunners. Top of the league. Yes. We can sit there and look at the table every day. Like the next 14 day or about 13 day. Yeah, man, it's a good feeling, man, going into the break with that, you know? Can't can't go around that. All right, so like I said, more want just take a check in with the other top five leagues, just for kind of see what go on. We said first half was the best of the season, second half was rough. Yeah, second half it almost felt like Brentford was gonna find one of them bungle goals after a while, you know. That was the feeling I was getting. Like West Ham is about to score. I mean not West Ham, Brentford, sorry. Is about to score a goal. That's the feeling I was getting in that second half, but it never happened still. Hold out. All right, so let's pull up the La Liga. All right, so La Liga, obviously the big result today, 4-1, Sevilla gave Barcelona, and Sevilla really and truly in that first half could have been out of sight. Barcelona, to their credit, did pick up the pace in the second half after getting. I thought that 2-1 right before the first half was huge. That Rashford goal in injury time of the first half. But yeah, when they came out in the second half, Sevilla really, went toe to toe with them, and Barcelona had a really good spell, and then they got a penalty, and Lewandowski put that one off target, and I think from that point, just about, Sevilla really took it to them again. And, once it got to injury time, Barcelona was really pushing to get the equalizer. And 2 goals in injury time for Sevilla makes it a 4-1 win. So a big, big win for Sevilla. But what did that do for the table? So this is the table, like I said, second international break. So they have played one more game in Spain than in England, 8 played. And typically you'll see that because Spain does take a slight break over the Christmas, while the English league will still be playing. So yeah, typically they go out ahead in matches played because they know that break is coming. But yeah, this is how it stands. Real Madrid, 7 wins and 1 loss. Of course, that one loss coming in the derby for Real Madrid, 5-2 loss to Atletico. But other than that, they have been unblemished this season. Villarreal in third, Betis in fourth, Athletic Club fifth, Elche sixth, Atletico Madrid with a slow start to the season, but still only the one loss. But a lot of drawn games so far for them. But they're on 13 points in seventh. Sevilla moved up to eighth today. You see Espanyol, Alaves, Getafe, Osasuna, Valencia, Vallecano, then Valencia, Celta Vigo, Real Oviedo, Girona, Real Sociedad struggling down in the relegation, and Mallorca as well. So yeah, top five. As you can see, the fifth place gets Europa, sixth place gets conference in this league. But yeah, right now, Real Madrid, Barcelona as usual. But good to see some different clubs, in and around the Elches of the world, kind of punching above their weight this season in terms of results. And Atletico Madrid and Sevilla right there in striking distance at the top four. So very, very close at the top. Barcelona with their first loss today in the league, coming after a loss in the Champions League. So Barcelona getting a little bit wobbly right now, but really I shouldn't say wobbly. They just had a couple of losses. They did play well in the PSG game. I thought today, honestly, Sevilla probably deserved to win. So yeah, sometimes the football gods actually play it out how it's supposed to play out. And I do think Sevilla deserve to win today. So Real Madrid goes into the break with a 2-point lead. And of course, one of the things to watch in any Spanish league season is when does Real Madrid play Barcelona, right? So you see when they come after the break, they have Getafe, then Juventus in the Champions League, tough match for them. Then after that, people, on October the 26th, mark your calendars at 11:15. What's that? That's a Sunday. Sunday at 11:15, people. Real Madrid, Barcelona at the Bernabeu. So that will be the first installment for the year. So yeah, man, mark your calendar. That should be a big one. It always is. And yeah, that's the first time they face up in the league this season. So that's something to look forward to after the international break. Now let's move over to the Bundesliga. I have an idea who will be leading this one. Let's see. So Bayern Munich, as I thought, 6 wins from 6. I think I heard somebody the other day saying that they believe Bayern will run the table in the league this year. Maybe not win every game, but they will, at least draw the game them. So yeah, let's see if that does actually happen. I think they have a good chance of doing it. Definitely have a very strong team. Yeah, definitely have a very strong team, but the German Bundesliga, you never know, maybe that banana skin is in there for them. But so far, they have been ready for all challenges. Then you have Dortmund, Leipzig, Stuttgart, Leverkusen, and Cologne making out the top 6. Teams like Frankfurt playing Champions League this year. They're down in 7th, Freiburg, HSV, St. Pauli, Hoffenheim, Bremen, Union Berlin, Augsburg, Wolfsburg. Mainz would be in the relegation playoff spot right now, and then relegated for sure right now would be Mönchengladbach and Heidenheim. But 6 games played, 28 more to play, so nothing set in stone just yet. But Bayern, cream of the crop right now. And also, one thing that I have to show as well, it's quite amazing what this guy Harry Kane has been up to so far this season. So you see him listed as the player of the season right now, which he would have to be, because look at what this guy has been doing. So in the Bundesliga so far, he's played 6, started 6. This man has 11 goals and 3 assists in 6 matches, people. Yo, what is Harry Kane doing? 11 goals and 3 assists in 6 games in the Bundesliga. So we're going to keep track over the season how much goals. Like right now, people, if you had to guess, how many goals and assists you think Kane going to finish with in 34 games? Honestly. Not lie though, we're in a great position. 3 points off Arsenal, 2 points off Liverpool. We are there. That's all we have to do at this stage. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people were ready to write you guys off. I mean, I still feel like the defense is a bit, leaving a lot wanting. But if they can keep Diaz and Vardial fit, that's a good pairing. I just worry about what's after them. I can't really depend on Stones. I don't think Pep would be doing that either. Ake is a good player. I mean, they have bodies, but I don't know. Let's see. They have a really damn good team, though. That's for sure. So Haaland is unquestionably the best striker in the EPL. Yeah, I don't think there's an argument, Bala. I know Isak was getting a lot of love last season, but I mean, I think honestly, when it comes down to it, it depends what you want out of your striker. But at the end of the day, if the question is, I have one striker to pick, and a chance fall to him in the box, out of all the strikers in the league, you're going to say Haaland. So it's hard to take that title from him. Some people may not love the style and everything. I happen to think that is like build up and working with teammates has gotten a lot better. In the past, I would say maybe 4 months or so, 6 months. So when you add that to what he does as a finisher, then man, hard to deny Haaland that title. Yeah, facts. Hard to deny him that title for real. Chelsea. Yeah, skip a true man. La Liga, I move away this season. Teams, you check results. Like, I wouldn't want to be a betting man. I think the bookie them are bait off of Spain right now. Guys, pure mad results. You think what you think would happen, not happening. Side a beat side when I'm supposed to lose to side. But I say, bring on the classic, it's a bad man. Company proving his daughters wrong. Yeah, company are doing thing, bro. You have to give him credit. Big up next up. What go on? I'm gonna see you run out from where they. Where's the countdown to the games and stuff, my bro? Unless me just miss them. Big up yourself, same way, bro. One Gunners. German league is a single team league. Yeah. It'll look away, man. It'll look away. Because I mean, good thing Dortmund I tried them thing, them unbeaten 4-2, but just look on the goal difference. Plus 22 at 25 goal the man score. It's coming like some Manning Cup and D Cup goal difference, man. 25 goals for 3 against. But a Bundesliga. All right, so all right, whenever the Serie A, so I could check in with Serie A and see what going on over there. Big match play today. Juve and Milan. It was 0-0, but it was an exciting 0-0. I watched a lot of that game. Pulisic get penalty and kick it away. But yeah, these are the standings so far. Napoli, Antonio Conte, all this man know to do is win leagues. 15 points for them. Roma, yes, that is Roma. Leon Bailey's Roma. Gasparini's Roma. Top of the table, 15 points, just in second and goal difference right now. Milan, after that draw today with Juve, they are third and fourth. Really could have pushed them to be joint top of the table if either one of them could have won today. Inter down in fifth position by virtue of goal difference behind. No, wait. So wait, Juve, Inter. Oh yeah. Italy does it by head-to-head, So even though Inter is +9 and Juve is +4, I believe Juve did beat them in one of them games, Yeah, man, the 4-3. This was probably the game of the season so far. Mad piece of game. I don't know if any of you saw that 4-3 game, but if you haven't, just search the highlights of that game. Crazy, crazy game. Live Kelly score one goal, then score goal. Yeah, man, it was an action-packed game. Live Kelly gave away a penalty today as well. Is who him foul? Jimenez. Man just run through Santi Jimenez. Was fouling blatant. You had to call the foul. But yeah, Serie A looking like it's gonna be ultra competitive. All these teams down to, I would say, 9th position, playing some good football this season. Even Sassuolo too, to be honest. And then you have, I think in Italy as well, one thing that is showing is the lower ranked teams and their day in their stadium can cause you problems. It's not Serie A getting very competitive, especially at the top. Whereas I think out of all the top 5 leagues, if we're being honest, Italy has been kind of the most spread across. Like, yeah, I mean, Inter and Juve had the long run where they won every time, and since they stopped doing that, it's been kind of changing hands. Atalanta won a year, Napoli won, Milan won a title, Inter won a title. So it's been kind of going around and around, and you see all those teams in the mix. Now, Roma is the one team up there now that hasn't really won it of late. So yeah, good to see another new team now in the mix, and hopefully Bailey someday can get fit and join into this team that looks well placed for a decent season. So that is what's going on in Italy. Verona, Genoa, and Pisa need to pick it up. Hate to see the Viola down there, Fiorentina, team that I always used to like from my youth, because Batistuta was one of my main striker them I used to study. But yeah, they are down there struggling, but early days yet. They have a full 32 more games to play, so they can rectify the situation for sure. But yeah, this is the table right now, and as I said, Italy. If I had to guess right now, people, Serie A title race and potentially the EPL title race might be the closest ones for the season. And of course, La Liga with the stalwarts, them probably going back and forth till the end. So yeah, did Spain, did Italy, we did Germany, the one league, and this could probably be leveled as a one team league as well, and that is the PSG league. But Marseille, little Chelsea, Strasbourg, and Lyon looks to have something to say about it, as well as Monaco and Lens. Now, PSG has been mashed up with injuries to start the season, and they have been having some difficulty navigating some of these injuries. Marseille were able to tackle them. They had a win after that, and then they drew this week. So now they're 5-1-1, but they still have the lead by a point over Marseille and Strasbourg. Lyon as well on 15. Monaco, Lens, Lille, Paris FC, another team right there in Paris. They are in 8th position right now. Toulouse, Rennes, Brest, Nice, Lorient, Le Havre, Nantes, Auxerre, Angers, and Metz all make up that division. And it's going to be interesting to see how close can this race stay. Did Marseille do enough in the transfer market to really push PSG throughout the league season? And, is it just early days while Strasbourg, Lyon, Monaco, Lens, Lille all kind of sniffing around? Will that gap continue to widen for those teams? I think Strasbourg, when you look at their team, they have a lot of people in their squad, and I call them little Chelsea because half them guys were probably going to Chelsea and somehow ended up there. So, watch out for them. Them can cause some problems. And Leon, perennially, looks to they were having some tough times last couple of years. Always seem to get back to close to Europe towards the end of the season, but a decent start for them. They've been having bad starts lately. This is a better start for them. So League One, I think the question for this one is, how long does it last, this type of race? Marseille definitely showing their intent in terms of what they've done in the transfer market and some of the moves they have made. Trying to really build their team to challenge PSG for the French title. Let's see if they did enough work where that is concerned. I think it's going to be intriguing to see how close they can keep this race throughout the season. But PSG have the reinforcements will get back soon. All right. Big up, big up, big up, Gunner for life, Gunner for life. You never do 3 bad this week, but I don't know if it was good enough. Yeah, man. Put respect on my striker's name, my striker's name. Chile, I respect your striker, bro. Bless up, gigs. What go on? People are saying Haaland can't score without KDB, and then them say he only score for small teams. Bundesliga done already. Potentially could be. Haaland and that Norway team will cause problems in the World Cup. They have some giants in the forward line here. Him and Sorla. Then they have Nusa. Obviously, Odegaard, if he fit ever, in play like he plays incredible for that team, man. Create chances like crazy. As my team Bayern, I want company to have a good UCL run. They have started good being at the top so far in the UCL. I also want him as a black, coach to do well. Yeah, because there's a stigma attached with the black coach them for real, I really like for blame them something upon just something as simple as the color. But it's intriguing to see the lack of opportunities, Don't know why that is. Talking about KDB, man, putting Haaland on the map. Yeah. Haaland has scored. Him score again today, I think. Never get a notification. Yeah, gone for life. I don't know. A lot of my subs been saying that YouTube has been doing that. I reached out to YouTube. They said everything look good on my end. There's nothing that I'm doing to cause that. So they're just gonna work on it. But it seems like it's still going on. Yeah, man, the Juve Inter games, that's what you're talking about. I will let you through WhatsApp and make you know what I go on. Blessings to you. All right, bless, bless, bless. Yeah, man, link me through WhatsApp and let me know what I go on. Jose Brown, English press were doubting company. Probably bad mind. It's not Gerard, Lampard, or Rooney. Those coaches you mentioned have been failing miserably and keep getting chances. Yeah, Rooney, since the last failure, I don't see him. Or is he coaching right now again? Is Rooney still coaching? Let me know. Kane's Bayern. Jeez. Wickedy. Yeah, but that's the thing about coaching there though. It's like, can you really get credit for winning that league? I mean, he would have to really win the Champions League. But I tell you this, if he can win that league and go invincible, then I would think they have to give some credit, because whole heap of Bayern team play of late and dominate and them never go invincible. Yeah, we did miss a game today, USA, South Africa, U20. So I go and feed. All right, people. So let's get right down to it. Premier League, match week 7. First match of the week, Fulham and Bournemouth. This one was at the Vitality Stadium. So Bournemouth hosted this game and it ended 3-1 to Bournemouth. Most of the people that participated in the prediction had Bournemouth winning. I know Gunner for Life and BBK had a draw. Pristine, always picking for the upsets. went for a 2-1 Fulham. But yeah, everybody else pretty much went for a Bournemouth win. But for long stretches of the game, it didn't look like that was going to be the case, especially when Bournemouth, I thought, for the first maybe 25 minutes or so, really dominated and could have probably scored a few goals, but they did not convert anything. And the longer the game went on, Fulham started to grow into the game a bit. They did, I think, a part of the reason for that was Lukic, who has been having a good season so far, apart from getting yellow cards every 5 minutes. He had to go down, and when Tom Kearney came in the 14th minute, I thought Tom Kearney, as you can see, so far score saw the same 7.0 for him. He played excellent. He slowed the game down, control the game, retain the ball, know when to play through the lines, know when to keep the ball. Just added a calm to the midfield that was missing, and they really grew into the game once he came in, and it became much more of a toss-up as to who was going to win the game. I thought the first 15, 20 minutes or so, it looked like Bournemouth was going to be the only winner. But Fulham eventually, like I said, grew into the game, started to play much better. And then when he brought in, when he made a double sub on 67 minutes, it's pretty much at that point, it's still nil all. And Fulham manager Silva made a double sub. Kevin and Chukwueze came on for Wilson and King. And, Chukwueze took that central role where King is right here. Basically, as a false nine, I guess you could call it. And then Kevin, he took up the space where Kevin took up the space where Iwobi was, and Iwobi went to the other side, right? And basically, once they did that, I thought it just breathed some new life into the team, and just that little tweak changed things up, and the goal came from good interplay. Basically, it got dropped back to Chukwueze, and Sessignon made a run from deep to collect a two pass from Chukwueze and scoop it over the goalkeeper. And when that goal went in at 1-0, it felt smash and grabbish, like Fulham was going to be able to, see out the rest of the game. But I thought that goal, if anything, just kind of woke up Bournemouth. And, when Semenyo equalized with the way he did, it was crazy. That was some serious skill by Semenyo to beat the man on the line there. And then, in real time, it kind of looks like it's a lucky shot that goes in the goal. But when you see the replay and you see how Leno kind of sets his feet to defend that ball, and you see the precision with which he took the shot, I can only think that he was going for him right through the legs, right? What happened? That's what he was trying to do, because it was too clean. So a big goal by Semenyo, really solo effort, just took matters into his own hands. And then once they scored that goal, they really, the floodgates kind of opened up. And Clivert, you thought the first goal was good. My word, what, maybe not as much fancy feet and dribbling and skills, but that strike from Clivert was clean, side netting from about 35, 30 yards. Big strike to go up 2-1. And then they added a third when Semenyo showed his hunger again on a counter attack, laid on a platter by substitute Ben Doak. And, in the confidence that he's in right now, could have been two goalkeepers in the goal. He's probably scoring that still. So, yeah, all my FPL players, if you have Semenyo in your team, which most of you probably do at this point, maybe kicked yourselves a bit for not captaining him. I know one person that I saw in one of the leagues I'm in actually played their triple captain this week and put it on Semenyo. So big up to whoever that person was. I can't remember who you are now, but I remember seeing that by somebody. So yeah, triple captain in Semenyo was a boss move this week, so I'm going to give you credit. Other coaches with higher pedigree lost the Bundesliga before. True. World-class player. Yeah, well, look, Red Skull not there, but I remember this summer we talked about a lot of players, and Semenyo is one of those names that came up. And I was always saying, look, maybe he's a little outside the box, like everybody's saying Rodrigo and all these other people. To me, Semenyo will come do a job, him know the league. I think he would be an Arteta favorite because This man is probably the only attacking player right now that literally get the defensive contribution FPL bonus them every week, just about. Like a couple games, well, the man get 2 points extra for defensive contribution, and the man play wing. So that is Arteta love that. Arteta love that. That make Martinelli a get game for like the last 2 seasons, even when him not play no attacking nothing, because I'm work rate and him contribution defensively in play all the time. So imagine if him have a Semenyo were doing all of that and giving you that type of end product, different ball game. I guess the one argument on Semenyo is some players, when they're at a certain environment, a certain club, they're the man. That's when them can really shine. How would he be in being a part of a machine like Arsenal? You know, would he rise up to be a part of that machine, or would he kind of be like, well, I'm not starting today, and whatever the case is, I don't know, because when you're playing for a bigger club, it's a different type of pressure as well. But the more he keeps scoring and the more he becomes the main man at Bournemouth, he can start to learn to live with that pressure, because it will mount some more if you keep on doing what you're doing. But Bournemouth got this win 3-1. Fulham, I think when you look at the Fulham side of things, what's worrying for them right now is it seems like once they concede one goal in a game, anything can play. They might concede 2 more, 3 more. I'm not seeing much fight back in Fulham in terms of, the 2 games in a row now they've taken the lead and ended up losing the game. I think they ended up losing both games 3-1. And it's just been a kind of capitulation when they concede one goal. So, he's going to have to get that sorted out, Silva, because you can't keep on every time a team score and you give up 2 more goals right after that, or you're guaranteed to give up more goals after that. All right, moving into Saturday morning, because that game was played Friday. So Bournemouth got that one. Obviously, Semenyo did his thing, big baller. I'm going to continue to watch him if he keeps this up this season. I think Bournemouth will have to cash in the summer. He was a good capture by Ghana from England. Facts. We'll probably, based on what Ghana's doing right now, if they haven't qualified already, I think they're close to it. We should be seeing him at the World Cup for sure. Him and Kudus, not a bad wing pairing. Trust me. Can cause any team problems, that right there. Speaking of Kudus, Ghana was on full display in the Premier League this weekend because Mohamed Kudus did his thing as well in this game, scoring in the 57th minute, which proved to be the game winner in a 2-1 win over Leeds. All right, in this one, Kudus got the man of the match. This is how they started out, both teams. Xavi Simons played a more central role in this one. Odebeer off the left, who is proving to be a favorite of Thomas Frank if he starts off the right, off the left, but he's usually starting in the Prem. Tell is the one that got the game up front. Richarlison had been starting up front for the longest with all the absences to Solanke, Kolomuani. But this time, Tell got a start up front. Paulinho and Bentancur proving to be his go-to double pivot when he goes to his 4-2-3-1. And then on the back line, he had Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogi, Mickey Van de Ven, and Romero with Vicario in goal. Then for Leeds now, Bogle, Rodan, Strike, Goodmanson, of course, Jaden Bogle. We know, Jaden. How old are you, by the way, Jaden? You are 25. All right. Mr. Bogle. A man named Jaden Bogle, people. Where you think him forward from? Carl Darlow kept in goal. Ethan Ampadu, Longstaff and Stotch in the midfield. Okafor again getting on the score sheet, started off the left. Brendan Harrison, the American, on the right. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, joke, started up front. All right, so this one ended 2-1, like I said. Tottenham did take the lead through Matthias Tell on a deflected shot, and then Okafor had a tap in after some good play from Leeds, ended with a shot from Aronson that could only be parried for Okafor to tap in, and then Mohamed Kudus taking advantage of a little mix-up around the back, latched onto it off the right and did his trademark cut inside, fake the shot until he's ready to take it, and then he got a little lucky with not even a deflection, it was partially blocked and wrong-footed the goalkeeper. dribbling left, shoots back against the grain to the right post, and no chance for Darlow in goal to make it 2-1. And Leeds, honestly, probably deserved an equalizer in this game. I'm just being honest with you. But Vicario made some wicked saves, especially towards the end of that game. And if we're being fair, I mean, Leeds did apply a lot of pressure. But if we're being honest, like there wasn't a bunch of clear cut chances. It was a lot of half chance, a lot of good tries. And the one time, Vicario was really and truly tested, he was up to the task. So Tottenham back to winning ways, 2-1 win for them. At Ellen Road, I think it's the first time Leeds would have lost at Ellen Road this season. They had been unbeaten there. But yeah, I think Spurs, live dangerously at times, but you have to credit Vicario and some of the defenders just in that moment in the duel, just that block, that getting a toe on it, putting the attacker off balance. They just were able to do just enough to ensure that they didn't concede more than the one goal on the day. But I don't think Leeds should beat themselves up too bad. Uh, Piro, yeah, it was Piro who came on and took a wicked shot, and Vicario somehow was able to, tip it around the post or parry it away. I can't remember exactly, but looked like off his foot it was going in. USA goal. Yeah, so 2-1 to Spurs. In a minute, we'll see what that means for the table. But for them, I think Spurs, honestly, it's going to be tough. Obviously, Madison is long term. Not sure how much longer Kulusevski is going to be, but it seems like he's been out for a long time. Kolomoani, got him on loan. People are excited. Haven't really seen him because he's been injured. Solanke looked like I think they said he had to do a little procedure. So that doubtful is probably going to get a little worse. So yeah, they have a lot of players out. But Thomas Frank honestly has started out pretty well. And I think we look at the league table, there'll be plenty of evidence to that. But Leeds did fall 2-1 to Tottenham. Float Management, Nitro, BBK Sports, Biggs G, Joseph Brown, Sheridan. Yeah, that's all the people that got this one right, but quite a few people. In fact, this week, I think there might be a record for most correct scores, like if we total up everybody's. A lot of you guys picked the scores correctly in this week. Yo, 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 yo. Well, go and float, big up yourself. Yeah, man, you predicted this 2-1 Tottenham scoreline perfectly. And that's gonna be a theme for you tonight because you had quite a few. All right, so moving right along, can't really big up Spurs for too long, and you don't know the thing go. But them win a game, people. Now Arsenal took on West Ham 10 o'clock in the morning for me. At the Emirates Stadium, Declan Rice facing his own team. And for not the first time, he scored on them in the 30th minute after a bunch of pressure from Arsenal before that goal and after that goal. And just some wayward, lackadaisical, lackluster finishing, to be honest. And then we had to settle for just a second half penalty from Saka after a good ball by Zubimendi, and then a good first touch and second touch by Timber. Could have been deemed outside the box, but I think Timber was clever. Just stayed on his feet long enough to be making contact with that penalty area when he fell. So yeah, 2-0 to the Arsenal, clean sheet, which we love. And West Ham under Nuno definitely sat in their block and tried their best. But, if I'm a West Ham fan looking back at this, I'm thinking, at some point you have to try, and I just don't feel like Nuno ever really tried. He just was, he tried to do what he was trying to do the whole game, which is just sit back, try to hit on the break on the counter. But yeah, there were times when the Emirates was starting to get a bit grumbly, and in those moments, sometimes you need to, yeah, sometimes you just need the other team to really show some impetus when the fans are feeling a bit grumbly like that and maybe not as sure of how the team is playing as other points in the match, because when we started out, it was crazy, loud, getting chances. Even before the goal, I remember Eze had a simple one he missed. Balls just going across the box, barely missing players. Yeah, so it was a good first half, I thought, for the most part. The one bad thing that happened again, Odegaard only lasting 30 minutes, Zubimendi had to come on for him. I was kind of surprised when he went Zubimendi because one of the things that I liked about the lineup was he went with two more attacking players flanking just the single six, which was Declan in this particular game. Um, but when Odegaard got injured, he kind of reverted back to what we've been seeing, which is Zubimendi and Rice in that central part, and then Eze sliding a bit more central after that change was made. Um, but another thing that's kind of, I don't know if it's worrying other Gunners fans, but I always check stats and what kind of ratings the players get. And, Gyökeres, this is becoming a theme for him, bro. Like, he got a 5.8, I think it was the last time in the league, right? 5.9 today, 5.9 against City. So he's basically had three straight performances where he hasn't been able to crack six on a sofa score rating. That is a bit troubling, right? So how did he get this 5.9? So based on sofa score, these are the stats that they would have compiled. He took two shots. One was on target in the 13th minute, and that was a right-footed shot. Wait, what minute? 13th minute? Right-footed shot from right there? I don't remember that shot. And then this was a header, which he should have done way better with, to be honest. So yeah, that's two big chances he would have missed right there. Why am I not remembering this one though? Hmm. So yeah, that's the map. Now he played 90 minutes, right? Actually, I'll leave the map up. That's the shoot map. So you see his heat map definitely favoring drifting out to the left hand side. And that makes sense because when you play when Trossard plays off the left, he tends to drift a lot more infield and combine. And so Gyökeres does have that space to fill in when Trossard comes a little more central. And you know that Saka is going to basically play high and wide on this right. So there's no need for Gyökeres to go and crowd that space. So that makes sense that he shades more to that left hand wing. Then you have his expected goals at 0.63 and he leaves with none. That's for a striker of his caliber, that's a problem, right? You got to finish those chances. He had one on target, one off target, two big chances missed. He did try two dribbles, was successful on one. The passing is something that's been killing his stats as well. 28 touches, 45% passing on the day, 3 of 8 ground duels, 3 of 4 aerials. That's good on the aerials. In those 28 touches, he's losing the ball more than half the time, 15 times. He committed one foul, he was fouled twice, and didn't have any defensive actions statistically. So Gyökeres, stuck in the fives for his rating. So is it a case where it's feast or famine for Gyökeres? Like kind of how Haaland is, if him don't score, you don't really get anything. But again, these ratings to me, especially this one and the one last week, I actually like what I'm seeing. To me, he looks better than like the games when he scored the two goals or even the one goal. Like he looks to kind of understand a bit more his teammates. I see a little interplay on top of the box with him involved. Um, Look, man, he just needs to start bagging, I think, because he did get two chances that he should have done much better with. And we can't go around that, because literally all those flaws that people said he would have and he don't fit the system and this and that. What we didn't think would happen from him is that he wouldn't be able to finish chances. And that's been, I think he's missed. If you look at this season so far, you look at the season so far in the Prem, right? Um, let's see. He's already missed 4 big chances. His expected goals for the season. Should I have it? Or expected assists, but not goals, really. He's missed 4 big chances already. He has 3 goals, no assists either. Oh, there it is. So it's a 3.02 expected goals. So I want him for about 5 or 6 at least with that. You shouldn't. Your XG should not outperform your goals, your actual goals. That shouldn't be happening. So Jokeres, look, don't think it's time yet for really beat you and call for your head. But you gotta start putting away some chances, my boy. Or else that time will come. That time will come. And another week goes by and some of the other players bought from other leagues score. That happens up a few more weeks, and the narrative becomes, did Arsenal make the right choice? So let's hope that he can get it together there. But again, Arsenal XG, much better, 2.77. Much higher ball possession. We had 2 more big chances than them. They only had 4 shots to our 21. But again, like most games this season, we have high shot numbers. But when you look at things that could actually score, that number falls drastically to 5. But this is my favorite number on the whole stats. 0 shots on target for us, for West Ham. 2 big chance miss. Only had 44 entries. This game was played predominantly in the midfield. And yeah, and we had extended spells of possession in the final third, but not so many entries. Once we entered, we lived there. We had 171 passes in the final third. So that's a big number right there. But yeah, very good performance from Arsenal, I thought. Very business-like. Don't remember giving them. They did have a good chance from a set piece late in the game. But other than that, I mean, it's saying they got 2 big chances. What's the other big chance they would have? Yeah, that was a big chance. Marshall. Okay, this one. Fulcrook did have another big chance from a corner. Yes. And he put it high. Yes. Raya got caught on the flight of the ball. See, it was the first minute. That's why I'm forget it. Yeah, man. So those are the 2 big chances, both from set pieces. So we need to sharpen up on the damn set pieces, clearly. He missed 2 in that game that were noted. And I still think the cross from Declan Rice, he needs to be getting on the end of that. If you notice when he's getting into the box, he kind of just checks his run just for a split second, and that was the difference getting to that ball or not. Yeah, I think we spent too much for this Jokeres fellow. Nitro in the grand scheme of strikers, we didn't spend that much. I mean, we spent half of Isak, we spent less than Voldemort, we spent less than Sesko, we spent all the other strikers cost more. Based on comments in by a pundit, Jokeres only scored penalties versus the top 5 teams in Portugal. Why we paid so much for him? We didn't pay that much though. He need a better left winger. That would be helpful. He keeps missing chances. How a better left wing going to help that? Nitro, it's true. You need to play who can play the ball quicker in box. Okay. He soon get up to speed. Just wait. I think he's still. I haven't given up, bro. I think he's still gonna bag. I think even his sharpness, his fitness is improving, his touch is improving. So he really, that no preseason hurt him for sure. Because he does not look, he's still he's not like a speedster, but he's not as slow as I thought he was at first. Still think him get 20 goal in all in Prem. Okay, him get 20 goal in all comps. Or just the Prem. Let me know. Here, listening passively. Re Victor, it could actually be Verts for him. Yes, true. It could be much Verts. I like that one. I had one. Big up yourself. Tesco scored the world in. Is it? Yo, man, I expect to see one ratty goal to, I see the long throw goal. I said to myself, brother, oh, wow, that deserved to score. What a free kick. Sesko having one less goal playing for United is not a good look for your careers. They say him gone two, he's on his heels. Your careers just need to time his run. Yeah, man, on that play, man, him do a split, like just watch it back again. He was going a good speed to catch up with the ball, and him just kind of slow down. I think he was trying to make sure that the guy didn't get past him because he would kind of had him on his like shoulder, so he was keeping him at bay. But that little hesitation, man, make you never get on the end of that. If you can still trust Arteta process, you can trust Cockers. Yeah, man, yeah, man. I am not. Nitro look like him done with him. And I ask, how we spend so much on all these things, but me not done yet. I can't it too no. Because at least he's there for the chance. I'll give him that. No, I can't live with this rate of missed chances all throughout the season. So yeah, at some point I'm gonna start put them away. I see it too long through our heads. And them love Coleman set piece FC. Yet still the whole Premier League got a long throw now. Big up Capite. Every day you cheat, you put something else in the name. True Capite Reds now. Alright. Wait, I gonna say next week. True Capite Reds don't walk alone. Red Skull, Tesco the only way him bag if it's a corner. Yes, I have. Corner, one corner store Tesco. Yeah, man, but Arsenal 2-0. We'll see what that does for us in the table moving forward. At least, everybody knows Arsenal lead the table now. One thing I like about this game too, just the last point I'm gonna make on Arsenal for today. Timber again, ball out, big ball. Another thing I want to point out: when Zubimendi came on, I think some of the criticism I've been hearing about Zubimendi this season, and I thought it's been ridiculous personally, and I see him breaking lines enough, is that him only play side to side, him don't split the line, him don't try any passes. Brother, last game against Newcastle is him like a scoop ball on the top of the 18, give Timber the chance to score. This game, the first goal is Zubimendi played the through pass to Eze for the shot. The second goal that came off the penalty is Zubimendi clipped the ball over the top to Timber and let that goal get created. So I just don't. I want people when they hear pundits out there like come out with these things and then the people on TikTok and Instagram and everything, they make the little reels and everything with the sound bite and then them talk about it. Please debunk them because Martin Zubimendi is not just a retention guy. If the opportunity presents itself for him to play a through pass or go over the top, he's gonna do it. He just don't force them. And that's why I remember the two that he did in this game because they weren't forced. It was the right play. Odegaard, bad luck again. Knee and knee contact tackling. I think it was, forget which player it was. But yeah, he ended up the worst and tried to push on, but they had to come off. It's looking like he has a MCL injury. Don't think it's a tear, but the goal is to get him back ASAP, of course. And Declan Rice also had to come off of the pitch with a sore back. Now, the good thing with Rice, typically those things might just be a little tweak, need a few days. I know the international window is upon us and he's definitely in the squad. Don't know if the back issue would be enough for him to have to pull out. But let's see. Let's track the players over the international break. Definitely, Declan, I want to see what's the deal with him if he plays for England or they let him get some rest. All right. Moving right along, people. Man U and Sunderland. Rejoice, Red Devils fans. Gonna win. Gonna win. Rejoice. I did not see the game, but I saw where he earned a penalty, but gave it to Saka. No, well, it wasn't Gyökeres that earned it, It was Timber. Any goal scored from long throws this weekend? Yes. Yes. So we know you're a big analyst. People are idiots. Them they even watch the game. Them only listen to some dumb pundits. Yeah. I mean, Zubimendi, I don't know how he got leveled with that, bro. Even when I see him playing for Spain, I see my break lines. I say, how people say, it's a one man, Him on ESPN, a British dude, and him usually the commentary for La Liga for them. Is him come and say, I've watched him. I cover the La Liga. I've watched him and he only does sideways. He doesn't break lines. He doesn't. He's a safe player. I don't know if that's what Arsenal needed to break these low blocks and blah blah blah. Is him break the low block 2 times in the damn game? Yeah, but when you said done his MCL, him do have an MCL tier, So yeah. When you said Drew, I want the bad down. I tell you, I saw the man sound man. Yo, more I tell you the guy's name star. ESPN FC commentary. Once we see the brother face, man, I'll tell him name, man. I should just find the man take on Instagram about Zubimendi. Piss me off, you see, man. Say, brother, what this man really say. And the reason why I'm keep on saying it, is because out of all the man, him watch the most La Liga because him commentated. So I know him do whole heap associate that game, man. But the thing is, when you're a commentator, you watch that man play that game. Now, I saw Zubimendi bad luck say every time him play, every time he play a game, and this man commentate, him not make no forward pass. I think the man named Stuart, if I'm not mistaken. ESPN FC crew. What the blood? Okay. Craig Burley, Steve Nicholson is for more detail cast. Yo, I'm more of them than that. And that's why I'm gonna rate him neither, Is them list out about 10 of them or 5, 6 of them, and him is not none of those people. Cause him not always on it, but him sometimes them will like zoom him in or something and him do like a segment with them. Alright, here we go. Is it Stuart Robson? No, it's not Stuart Robson that used to play for Arsenal. It's the other guy. Oh wait, is it Stuart Robson? Can I get a picture of him, please? Yo, bro, this man not even worth me finding him, I'm determined. Yes, man, it's Stuart Robson. And the sad part about it is he's a freaking gunner. But he also played for, I think, who did he play for? I think West Ham. I think he played for West Ham and Arsenal. Pretty sure. I think he played for other teams too. He might have even played for City at one point. Or what team is this? Yeah, that's City. But yeah, this brother, man, come chatting foolishness about. I've watched him time and time again in the league, and I don't see him progress the ball enough. I don't see him progress the ball. I don't know, bro. That be nice. You don't know what you're talking about. No, it's not Craig, man. Stuart Robson, me talk, man. No, it's not Burley, man. Stuart Robson. Burley's the next one, though. Him chat whole heap of fart, too. Yeah, Steven Nicol, not him. He's another madman. Big up Jason, everyone. One Arsenal, they win the league. Not yet, Conrad. Not yet, not yet. But come on, Conrad, man. And they can't get 4-1 today. And the first thing you say is not one Barca. Or you cannot say one Arsenal now. If it's Craig Burley, he hates every team in the Premier if it's not Chelsea. That is true. It's not Steve. It's not Steve. I'm talking Stuart Robson. He was the one with the stupid take where I talk about this man don't ever break line. I'm like, bro, I've watched the man play like 2 games for Arsenal, and literally his first instinct is to try to break the line. Like literally. The difference with him and a lot of people is he just don't force it. If it's not on, he will recycle, get it back, and try break it the next time. Yeah. Well, and to be honest, the picture I saw, Drew, I couldn't quite make out the badge. So it could have been Coventry that I saw just now, and not even City, Manchester City. Yamal wasn't there. Come on, bro. Barcelona is Mesque un club. You cannot tell me about one baller. That is not Barcelona's way, unless Barcelona change, which I hope not. All right, Man U, a year time now. Red Devils, 3 points in the bag. Mason Mount looking like Chelsea Mason Mount with that finish. Very clean finish. Mbuemo putting the ball in the box. Mount slotting it home. And then Benjamin Tesco. Long throw special. Diogo Dalot finding a actual use for the team. Good long throw. And then it was flicked on actually by a defender. I think it was Mukiele who got up and could only direct it right back into the problem zone. And once that happened, they pretty much were after the races. But Manchester United probably should have had more goals than just the 2 in the first half. I thought the second half was a bit more even. Sunderland even could have scored a goal maybe. But in the end, man of the match performance, you have to give him credit. They bought him. He had to sit and watch a horrible goalkeeper keep. And he came in, and all I heard from Man U fans, and I didn't watch this game because it was obviously the same time as Arsenal, but I did watch the extended highlight and thing, and he did make quite a few good saves, made some good plays with his feet as well. So Manchester United, I know anything that looks in the goal half decent is going to feel like a world beater to you guys right now. So at least you have something to work with. I was more impressed with the new keeper. Yeah, exactly. United keeper looked good. Yeah, he did. Yeah, man side get a beating to the star. But no, I was impressed, man. I mean, trolling aside, Lamens looked like a decent keeper, for sure. I know the highlight tape that we saw of him. You can always know when a keeper had a good game. If this goals prevented stat is anywhere close to 1, the man keep incredibly in the game. So 3 saves. This stat means there was a lot of expected goals in the game, and they still were able to keep the clean sheet. You know? But yeah, 2-0 to United, clean sheet for them. Shaw, Delict, and Euro back 3. I think typically that 3 does the best work right now. And I think Casemiro makes a big difference as opposed to Uarte in there, in that role. Bruno played better in the game. Dalot, if it wasn't for the long throw, I don't think he did much to help the team. But yeah, Seskos played actually the whole game. I'll have to check, but I think this is the first time he would have played a full 90 in the league at least. And then Cunha came on from Mount. He had a nightmare. Didn't play well. But yeah, Sunderland definitely finished the stronger team. But yeah, they just could not get past the brick wall. They couldn't get past Lamens in goal. Sunderland probably feel a bit disappointed because that second goal was really avoidable. I thought they didn't really deal with that first ball, the long throw, well enough. And definitely didn't react fast enough for the second ball because Sesko was much faster to react to that flick on. And Manchester United kind of just control the game after that 2-0. When you look at the stats in the game, pretty even possession wise. Man U did have the higher expected goals, but just two big chances apiece. They had more shots. When you look at the shots on target, they had double the amount of them as well. Hit the woodwork. But you see, most of the game played in the middle third and pretty equal apart, in terms of territory in the final third or defensive third, vice versa, respectively for the team. So, the main difference, one big chance was scored by United. Both the big chances Sunderland was able to create, they didn't score either one of them. Um, goals change games. So, Old Trafford in this climate of the club right now, if Sunderland were able to get even one goal, you don't really know how different it could have been. But as I said before, credit to the goalkeeper, the back line. They held strong enough and they did see out the game. Final third entry is pretty even, 55 to 48. That's always a good way to see, and it bears out when you look at the stats of possession in the thirds. Um, so United, I wouldn't say they're foolproof right now in any way, but they do continue to, have some of the most shots in the league. Do continue to have one of the highest XGs in the league. And I think now the goal for them is to try to find that balance to really shut down other teams, limit their big chances, limit their entries. Don't think they're quite there yet. But the good thing is, attacking wise, they are getting chances. They are getting chances, not being clinical enough from my estimation. I think similar to Arsenal, actually. If you look at expected goals for the season and then compare that to how many goals they've actually scored, you will see that Arsenal and Man U actually functioning very similarly, not putting away enough chances that they're getting. So, but listen, right now, if I'm not a Man U fan, but I can only imagine for a Man U fan right now, in this current climate, the performance is, yeah, that's great, but 3 points is 3 points right now for them. And the fact that they were able to do it with a clean sheet, I'm sure they'll be even happier knowing that that clean sheet came with the hands of a brand new goalkeeper that looks actually competent in the goal. So, is this some kind of turning point for Manchester United? I think you should probably relax and just wait and see. But good signs, good signs. Goalkeeper looks to be somewhere that they won't have to be so worried about in the immediate future. All right. So one step forward for United. The problem for them in this whole progression under Amorim, that usually is followed by 2 or 3 steps back. So we'll see if they can gain any momentum moving out of that game. Now, for sure, the most enthralling encounter for the weekend was this Chelsea versus Liverpool. Really, really big matchup, and made even bigger because both clubs are pretty much at the top end of the table, both in the Champions League. So, really, really big matchup here in this one. Now, Liverpool would have seen Arsenal get the win before this, knowing that any result less than a win would mean that Arsenal would lead the league going into the international break. So, the lineups that came out for this one, we didn't see double overts from the start. He got the bench. They went with the tried and trusted midfield three of McAllister, Gravenberch, and Soboslai. Soboslai was given a bit more freedom to play attacking central role in that midfield. Salah off the right, Gakpo off the left, and new recruit Alexander Isak was up front. Backline, they went with Connor Bradley at right back this game. No Frimpong from the start. Konate and Van Dijk and Kirkes kept his game as well, and Mamardashvili filling in for the injured Becker. Now for Chelsea, Robert Sanchez in goal. Remember I said they had a centre-back crisis, people. So who would play? I said Achempong and someone is what I pretty much said. And I said if they want to get creative, them can maybe play Reese there, um, as one of the two centre-backs, or make it a back three just to give a little more coverage. Well, they ended up going with this right here, Reese James, Malagusto. And it was an interesting one because Reece James and Malagusto almost were like interchanging in these two positions. So sometimes Gusto was the right back, sometimes James was in here, and they just kept kind of moving around. And it was a very interesting thing. I would almost want to, as an analyst and stuff, I would want to talk to Maresca and ask him like, what was your plan with Gusto and James? Like how, like what was the instruction to them? Like I would love to hear him explain that to me. Because I was trying to work it out during the game. Maybe a Chelsea fan that watched them more often. Like, did you see what I was seeing with James and Gusto kind of switching positions and stuff from time to time? It was almost like um they just were working off of wherever each other was, and then based on that, they would take up a position. I don't know. I did see that, bro. It was weird. The keeper was the big positive for me. It was nice to finally see a keeper that can take charge of his area. Yep. You don't see with the Spanish head coach a fight with Barca coach about Yamal playing. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. Because them say Spain ratted South Africa 2-1 pan USA. Me clot. You don't see the Spanish head coach a fight. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, because they said that last time he was with Spain, them give him some injection or some foolishness for making play or something like that, right? Better than what them have, even though them not have nothing. Yeah, he reminds me of the great goal this man you had during Fergie's era. Jeez, already? After one game? Amarim team selection was good this week for once. Yeah. Oh, he got called up for Belgium. Nice. Sunderland keeper kept well. He made an incredible save. Yeah, man. Well, that keeper one of the best in the league this season, you know. That guy Roofs. Yeah, man. If you look on him saves, like just look on Roof saves in the EPL this year. The man makes some rotted save. It early. We're not like some teams jump in front and can't handle what comes with it. Big up yourself, Jaguars. Yo, Conrad. I better start throw them word there, no brother. Don't boost them. Nah, man. Me fear, you know. Me fear, you know. When they forget troll, they forget troll. But they've had a good win this week because Sunderland is not no easy team right now in them form. So them get over a hurdle that I was thinking them was going to struggle with. I predicted a 1-0 Sunderland win. Like I just thought Manu was going to mess up again. But I didn't know he was going to start the other keeper. I figured it would be Altai. That CDM role needs to be fixed, but I'll take the 3 points. Yeah. Well, Casemiro is a stopgap. He's way better than anybody else gonna have in that role. And even though I'm slow and all of these things, I'm intelligent still. We shall start over the league when we meet. Blessings, Medea, bro. Listen, big up Nicardo. Big up, big up, big up. Hope all is well. Welcome back, guys, to the morning inside. It's your boy Nicardo. Yeah, man. Every morning, we watch that, you know, bro. Big up yourself. Manners and respect. Chelsea center backs dropping like flies. Yeah, so I remember going into this game, I was saying, boy, Achempong and somebody. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Well, it was Badia Shield who got the nod. But look there, both of them get injured in the game. So there was a Lavia sighting in the 55th minute. He had to come on, which meant James had to drop back to centre back. Then Achempong gets injured, so they have to bring on Hato, the new recruit. He was playing left centre back. So yeah, they're down to the bare bones when it comes to centre backs, and this international window couldn't come at a better time because they had to play one more set of weaker games. I don't know who them was gonna end up playing. They would have to whisper them under 21 centre backs for come play the whole defense. So yeah, you see the list of casualties there. Chalaba suspended, so you know he'll be back. I wonder if he got more than a game ban for that. Was it a straight red? I think it was, you know. I'm not sure though. Colwell, Delap, Modric, ban, Sterling, ban from training and ban from the team. Fofana, Santos out now too. Charger. So yeah, they have a lot of injuries. Only 3 injuries for Liverpool right now. But yeah, people. I think Florian. I think Sock. All right. So let me first just talk on Liverpool a little bit. So when we looked at Liverpool this season, obviously they started out the blocks hot, 5 wins from 5, and then they ended up losing their last 2 games, one to Crystal Palace 2-1, and the same scoreline to Chelsea. And I think, in those first 5 wins, realistic Liverpool fans were talking that maybe, they've gotten a bit lucky in certain games. other fans and other people like myself who just analyze and watch the games, I didn't really put it all the way down to luck. I said that you had to give Liverpool credit for being able to just be so relentless with their attacks. You can stop them 57 times, 58 times, 59 times, and you think it's over. They come with a wave of 15 more back to back to back to back to back. And that relentlessness, that constant pressure they put you under, you're bound to make a mistake, make a crack, and they also have quality. So even if you don't make a mistake at all, Salah can do something world class. Soboslai can do something world class. Gakpo, they in moments they can do things that win you matches, right? Everybody on the team just about that can go forward and attack. Even Van Dijk as a defender, he's won so many games on set pieces with his head, and just so they have a lot of people that come up big in the big moments, right? But I did say that I did ask actually, is that sustainable, right? Now, easy answer, yes, because I think for long stretches of last year, they weren't playing the best football out of everybody, but they were getting the results, and Mo Salah and others were coming up with the timely goals to get them a point or to get them three, when it looked like they would get none, right? So that's pretty much how that's been their blueprint. Now, I did also say that because Slot came to a team that wasn't changed that much or wasn't changed at all last season, he could pretty much plug and play every week what he thought was his best team. If everybody's fit, this is who I'm going to play, with a couple of tweaks here and there. I think now that the squad is bigger and he's gone to retool and make sure he has a bit more depth, now he's going to really earn his coin as a manager, because you have the Isaks of the world, you have the Verts of the world, you have Ekitike, you have Robertson, who is the guy who's been there. You have the new guy, Kirk, is coming in, who's been up and down with his form, to be honest. Same goes for Connor Bradley, Frimpong. Everybody that's played right back has been really up and down with their form. So Slot, I think, is going to have to really earn his keep, because he has a lot more pieces to gel and move around and keep fit and keep fresh and watch who is on form. He didn't have all of that to worry about last year. He could close his eyes and pick the 11. Now it's a little bit different, and we're seeing that he's being scrutinized more for his decisions. Right, when they lost in the Champions League, people were wondering why you bench Salah, why you did this, why you didn't bring on this person earlier. Whereas it seemed like last year, all the things he was doing was touching gold. But really and truly, what was he doing differently last year? He would have the same formula: start these players and bring on these players. Now he has the chance to change those things, and he's being scrutinized a bit more heavily because, you know, some people are saying that they're not the right decisions that he's making, right? So Slot is going to be a difficult year for you, because you have more to work with and you have more reason to wonder, when things don't work out in your favor, how you never get it right. you know? Now, Chelsea, I think one of the best games Chelsea played this season. And the reason why I say that is the relentlessness that Liverpool is known for attacking wise. Chelsea put it right back to them in this game. Right back to them. And not many teams do that when they face Liverpool. Usually Liverpool has the upper hand in terms of attacking and how many chances are created and all these things. I don't think that was the case in this one. I think it was pretty even, honestly, in terms of chances. Now, Liverpool has two more big chances and way higher expected goals. I get that. But yeah, the shots were even. Let me see, shots on target. Chelsea had more than Liverpool, So yes, the expected goals would be higher, because I think they had the clearer cut openings. But because Chelsea did more with the clear cut openings, and even the ones that weren't so clear cut, they were hitting the target with shots. It felt like the game was a back and forth and could have gone either way. Liverpool was wasteful though. Salah, especially that second half, had some chances, but I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, he seems a bit off of it. I dropped him in fantasy, and I've been regretting it. Not regretting it, but I've been knowing that at some point Salah going to do a madness, and I'm going to be like, how could I ever drop him? But that hasn't happened yet, people. It's been 2 weeks now. I think he's blanked in both of them. So yeah, it's looking like a good choice. And Haaland has been bagging. So It worked out for me in fantasy, trust me. But the entries were very close, 56 to 50 in the game. So yeah, look, the expected goals I see it, the big chances I see it, but trust me, I test watching this game, it was a much more even game than even some of these stats would suggest. But it was a really good game, man. In the rain, high tempo, high intensity, back and forth at times in the second half, especially. Um, and yeah, it was a really good game of football. William Estevao ended up being the hero, 96 minute. What a way to announce yourself to Stamford Bridge. A goal in a big game like this so late in the game. Minutes before that, he had come close with a nice curling shot. But yeah, Cucurella, as usual, finding a good space in the box, in the half space, good through pass, kept it in play, put it across the face of goal, and Estevao was the last person on that backside, on that far side, to get to it and put it away. And that made it 2-1. So that gave Liverpool their second Premier League loss in a row, third loss in all comps in a row. So they go into this international window with a lot to ponder on. Something that Slot has not really seen happen to him in his tenure at Liverpool yet. A prolonged losing streak. We haven't really seen this out of Slot before. So yeah, let's see. We haven't seen him here, so let's see what he does to respond, because we've never seen him have to respond to this type of run of results. As far as I know, maybe the Liverpool diehards can tell me that I'm wrong. Him lose 3 games at some point, but and don't tell me about the end of last season, because they were already on vacation. No. Yeah, talk about the United goalies. Raheem Sterling was right to stay. At this rate, he will have to suit up. Well, the lucky thing, well, not lucky, but the thing about the injuries are they're all in one area. That is the worst part, man. It's just every centre back will get injured at the same time. One Estevao. What has Kesa done to Slot? Man score every time in play during in the last 7 minutes, and you rather put on a CDM. Yeah, I think a lot of fans were kind of not understanding that sub. I thought it was because McAllister was just dead. Just dead. He was dead. But I guess you could say at that point, if it wasn't Endo coming on, would Endo, what did Endo have to do with not stopping the way that goal was scored? Who knows? Who knows? But Chelsea, they made 3 attacking subs basically. The other 2 were forced. And Liverpool, did change the left back out. Kirkes was having a nightmare. Bradley came off, which put the makeshift like a right back thing. I thought he pushed Garnacho in the back on that run for the penalty, but people say no. And the commentator was adamant it wasn't. But boy, I don't know. In slow motion, it looked like him not pushing him just leaning on him, but that's because he's not seeing the motion as fast. I mean, he kind of, he went for it with Curtis Jones here, for Kanate. And yeah, he just kind of, I guess when he brought on Endo, he just went back to a back 4, because I don't know if Endo went into the midfield or not. But yeah, Willian announcing himself to the Stamford Bridge faithful, 2-1 result for Chelsea. Big result. And that definitely had implications at the top of the table. And we'll be checking that shortly. So that was the last matchup of Saturday. I'm sorry. How could I not big up Moises Caicedo? My word, what a strike, sir. And Van Dijk again with his matador style, just backing off, and him saying, "Woo! What a strike by Caicedo, man. Brilliant goal, man." Trent was a big loss for Liverpool, says going off for life. Well, some fans were acting like it wouldn't be to lessen the blow, but yeah, I think he's probably looking at it now and regretting it. It hasn't been, well, maybe not. Still early days, but it wasn't a good start over there in Madrid. Watching Chelsea versus Liverpool review highlights as you speak. Yeah, man, mad highlights, man. Very, very good game. Chelsea won the midfield battle on the day. They were hungry from the first whistle. That is true. And that's something that Liverpool pride themselves on winning most duels in the game and all of that. I think you're right. I think combination of the fans, just the energy level, the physicality of Chelsea as a whole, they definitely were they imposed themselves in that regard. Good goal by Caicedo. Yeah. Yeah, the argument is being had now. I heard Gary Neville on his podcast saying, you know, in that position, that deeper line, center midfield position, he knows there's Rice out there, Rodri has his injury problems, Gravenberch as well. He said some of these guys might have better technique and all these things, but overall, he said Caicedo is the best at the position right now. So that's a good debate to have still. Yes, Trent has been very shaky over there, that is for sure. However, Kirk is uncomfortable conversations. Yeah, Connor Bradley too, man. Struggling. Frimpong don't even get a game. Neither case who been on fire for real. So not have to manage this here, people. Can't just press play and sit down. Aston Villa Burnley, there was a big slate of matches, 4 whole games. We'll get through these quickly. I didn't have a chance to watch many of these games, just saw the full highlights and stuff. Marlon had a good brace before Ogochoku scored. Don't know how Emi Martinez let that goal in. I hope there's not bets on like not keeping a clean sheet or something because I don't know how Emi Martinez never saved that ball. Still, I don't know. You guys know the goal I'm talking about, the goal that they scored late to make it 2-1. Bro, I don't know why he never saved that. But Marlon had 2 good goals, one long run, slotted it home, far post, and then Rogers just picking the right time to release him on the right hand side, and he was able to finish from a good angle. He's one of the most accurate shooters, but his form is so up and down, man. I think these 2 goals were like his first since April for the club or something like that. So, and that sounds about right. He usually goes on these binges. So, I mean, I don't know if he's worth an FPL pick, but I'm telling you, Marlon is a streaky dude. So if him play like if I was what my boy named Coleman for this international window, I find a way to play Marlon, bro. I'm score 2 goals a day, Just because him score 2, if he's in that Dutch squad, coach, trust me, just put him on the field. Even if you don't want to start him, just give him some time. And I bet him score a goal. He's like that. He will go through these patches where he get 10 goal in 8 games and them thing, and then him just quiet for like 6 months. They have to utilize the times when he might do that. All right, so Aston Villa finally 2 wins now on the bounce in the league, so they're getting some form going. One in Europe as well. So nice little run for them. Kamara was in midfield with Boharda today. Paul Torres got the start over Mings. Rogers, McGinn, and Marlin and Watkins. So McGinn had a little more freedom today than what he's had so far. Ali Watkins played poor, missed some chance as well. Ross Barkley's back fit. That's a good addition for them. Buendia got injured again. That's not good news. He's been playing decent. And there's been a Amadou Onana sighting. So they're getting players back now. Getting some more players back into the mix. Um, I guess the craziest thing about this game is Jadon Anthony didn't score. That's the first in a while he hasn't scored a goal in a game, right? But yeah, Burnley, they put up a decent fight, especially late once they got the goal. They were really pushing for that equalizer, but it just wasn't meant to be. And Martinez did make up for that easy goal he let in with some nice little saves at the end. So Aston Villa, 2-1 winners over Burnley. Pretty Yeah, man, it was nice. Kind get the pass, open up him body, open up the space, and then he had acres. Acres. Yeah, me just realized gonna for life. Was there running off my mouth with no sound. But thank you. Big up, big up, big up. Yeah, pristine. Gonna try to figure out a way. If you follow me on Jason Gooner TV, pristine. If you haven't followed me already, because that way I can send the notification in a DM when I go in live. So just follow me, brother. Jason Gooner TV. See him so. Just search me on Insta. Because everybody's saying even when them have them notifications on, them not getting it. It's like them a block it or something. I don't know. All right, moving on. Another game. This was a mad game right here. Everton Crystal Palace. If you didn't watch this game, this was the one that I was kind of. Let me see. I was between this game the most and the Newcastle Forest game. Those are the two games I was watching the most. But this one was a madness. So Munoz gets the goal in the first half, and literally, this game could have been, I don't even know how much goals. About 4 love. And then you see the minute Crystal Palace missed the last chance and missing in the second half, it was all Everton after that. And they got a penalty, NDI converted, then they got a tackle goal, not even a tackle, a block goal from Jack Grealish. The man clearing the ball and Grealish put his foot to block it, and it was like a perfect shot off the block. And that's how they won the game 2-1. But it really was deserved. They were pushing back Crystal Palace. Palace did get the odd counter-attacking chance every now and again, but the biggest chances, the best chances, all the momentum was with Everton, and that stadium lift up when Jack Grealish scored his first goal for the club. And they got the 2-1 win, people. They got the 2-1 win over Crystal Palace, so there's no unbeaten teams left in the Prem. Crystal Palace was the last one, and now they're gone. Lacroix was the one to give up the penalty. I thought that was really the turning point in the game, because even though Palace wasn't putting away the chances and everything, and Everton in that moment was having a good spell, it just felt like they would be able to hold out, even if they only scored that one goal. And then the minute they got that penalty, Lacroix just losing his bearings a bit, going in from an angle that he was never going to win the ball, and NDI calmly slotted that one home. It looked as if Everton was going to be the only winner, and that's actually how it panned out. Pressure, until finally they cracked. And bad luck, hard luck for Munoz, just swinging and clearing the ball, and just so happened Grealish anticipated, had his foot there as a barrier, and the ricochet looked as if he had struck it perfectly into the top bins. But that made it 2-1, and Crystal Palace went down, people. Crystal Palace went down. You see, Everton, higher expected goals, even there. I tell you, this game was a mad game, man. 5 big chances to both teams. 3 big chances, 4 big chances missed by Crystal Palace. And I don't know what is wrong with this man, Mateta. But people, this man missed some of the easiest goals. I don't know how this man not score. And next time, Sarr selfish never pass the ball. Them should have passed it. So yeah, Sarr also was guilty, man. How many him miss? Him create one. So them not give him a big chance miss. Them wicked man when him round the keeper. So him start so low. 3 keepers, 1 big chance created. Oh, get it. Pino open few times well, man. And them now find the ball, Them need to trust Pino more, man. A good baller, I'll bet him before the goal score, man, get the easiest header for finish, Man, bucket right on Henderson. But yeah, Everton got the 2-1 victory at the Everton Stadium, and it was a good game. It was a really good game. End-to-end, action-packed. Both teams have 5 big chance created, so definitely a good advert for the Prem. But Everton got that win 2-1. Now moving to Newcastle and Forest from St. James Park. This one was a 2-0. Workman-like performance from Newcastle. Nottingham Forest really a shell of themselves under this manager, Postecoglou. Just nothing at all attacking wise. I think Chris Wood got the best chance of the game for them across into the box and just shows you what a difference a year makes, you know. I don't know how the man never finished that chance. Crossed into the box under half volley, just got the poorest contact ever. I don't even think it was a registered shot because it never went towards the goal. And yeah, I don't know. He's just out of confidence, out of form. You know, if I were Postecoglou, honestly, I would just probably start Jesus for a game. But there is the international window, and maybe he goes with New Zealand, gains back some confidence. I don't know. But he's a shell of himself right now. And Postecoglou yet to win a game for Nottingham Forest since he's been hired there, you know. But Newcastle, I think they have the most clean sheets in the league. They kept another one in this one. Bruno Guimaraes with a brilliant goal to start the scoring. And then Nick Voltemada from the penalty spot after that to make it 2-0. A clinical penalty by him. I think that's what, three in the last three? Yeah, so three in the last three in our competitions. Now up to what, two in the Premier League. No, three in the Premier League. So yeah, he's doing his thing right now, Voltemada, and Newcastle with a big win. Big win. You know, I think they've been struggling to score goals this season. That's probably why they are where they are in the table. But with that defense playing how it is, I think they'll stick around in the debate for Europe, I think, towards the end of the season. I think. All right, Wolves and Brighton. This was a 1-1 draw. Verbruggen with an own goal. Cruel and Munetsi, because the strike was brilliant. It just hit the crossbar and then hit off Verbruggen and into the goal. And then Jean-Paul Van Hecken making up for his countryman's own goal with a goal of his own in the second half. Short corner taken to the Carper, whipped it in one time, and Van Hecken with a powerful header into the corner made it 1-1. And Brighton really and truly will look back at this and say how we never win the game, because they had more than enough chances, more than enough territory in that second half to get it done. So they had the better possession, high expected goals. They created one more big chance, 11 more shots total, shots on target, double them 6-3. Final third entries, they had more as well, 66-48. So statistically, Brighton will look at this game and say, yo, we should have got the 3 points and not the draw. But that's not how football works, people. And they'll have to love up the fact that they didn't get the 3 points, even though their performance might have warranted it. So Brighton over Wolves. Wolves right now, just 2 points in a row now. So 2 points in a row in back-to-back games for Wolves. So they're up to 2 points now in the entire season. Of course, they started 5 losses from 5. So they're trending at least in the right direction. 2 draws. Now maybe they can make the big leap from loss to win when they return from the international break. Strand Larson definitely started out the season slower than he would have wanted to. And yet he came off early. We have Andre João Gomez. So that was the lineup for them. And see Brighton over here, Welbeck after his brace got the start, but didn't repay the manager with a good performance. Played the whole 90 though. Gomez has been starting since the 4 goals in the EFL Cup, but has been the first, well, I won't say first, but he's been subbed off and not played the whole game. But this man hurts a lot. He does that in the midfield. Usually he'll do a double or triple change at some point to try to change things. And I think the introduction of the Kuiper in this one did, add some added attacking threat down that left-hand side with him combining with Minte down there. And that's actually where the goal came from. Even though it was a set piece, it was kind of from that short corner where the Kuiper would be running into and sometimes underlapping that winger. So yeah, it came from that area. Good cross, good timing on the run and the leap. And that made it 1-1, and Brighton tried their best. But Johnstone wasn't having it, As you can see, 8.1, only bettered by Van Hecke at 8.2. So it was a big, big reason why they were able to keep that point today. So Wolves fans, rejoice. Back-to-back games with some positive news for you. All right, the last game of the weekend was earlier today, and that was Erling Haaland and Man City taking on Brentford at the GTEC Stadium. First thing I noticed, obviously the Jamaica in me. Where is Pinnock? Where is Ethan? No, he's on the squad. Hope that he's traveling to come to the team as well. But they played a back five, and I figure, okay, back five, Ethan plays, but not today. They went with Ayer, Collins, and Vandenberg as the three. Typically, Collins would have been on this right side, and Pinnock where Collins is, but he decided to not play Pinnock today and go with these defenders instead. All right, so that was the first thing I noticed. Then the second thing, I pick up Doku for fantasy, being assist god, just creating everything. What does Pep do today? No Doku. Bob and Savini up on the flank. So Lord have mercy. So I captain Haaland, he gave me a goal. That is nice. Not quite what I would have gotten if I captain Semenyo, but I will take it. I won't be greedy. But yeah, Manchester City in this game is pretty much control things, to be honest. I mean, Brentford huffed and puffed a little bit more in the second half, but it wasn't never, it create one big chance. City only two. I think if there's a knock on City right now, it can probably be that like typically they used to create more chances. I don't think they're creating quite as many as one time. Um, I don't know if you guys agree with that take or not, but I just feel like they used to create more than they do like on average this season. Their expected goals usually is a lot higher in a game and little things like that. They had 4 shots on target to only 1 for Brentford. See the final third entries 59 to 44 in favor of City. Let me see something here. It's got to be Ballard's header. That's not even this team. Igor Thiago. Yes, he was clean through on goal. How could I forget this? I think he fouled the defender, but it wasn't called. He's clean through on Donnarumma, and he just dribbled too close to the man star. Man couldn't sort out him feet, man. And that guy been on fire too, Thiago. Yeah, so 1-0 to Manchester City. Good value for it. I think probably from a defensive standpoint, one of their better performances I have seen. Really limited the other team to, nothing crazy, and Brentford were able to manufacture one big chance, but really and truly it was the defenders of City's own doing. It wasn't really them doing anything great. It was a long ball that was misplayed by I think Vardiol, and Igor Thiago just couldn't sort out himself when running in on goal. And he just ended up getting too close to the keeper, tried to flick it over his head, basically shoulder, and it didn't quite work out. So that was their one real chance. They had a bunch of other half chances from the long throws and all this madness, but yeah, man, that was gonna be their best chance right there. It was not meant to be. But good result. Good result for City. I think their attacking players were just kind of good. They weren't great. Ford was definitely quiet, as was Savinho. Bad news for City fans is Rodri looked to have pulled up in the first half again. So he lasted 22 minutes this time. I guess the good news is Nico Gonzalez looked really solid in that midfield as well. Not as dynamic as Rodri. Probably not going to give you the goals like Rodri might. But I think for the job that they need, he'll be better than anything they had doing it last year, even though Nico, I think, came in January. I just felt like he didn't get that many opportunities. But I think Pep probably trusts him a lot more now. He's been around the team, knows the system inside out now. So, yeah, look to see if Rodri is any kind of long-term, even medium-term. Gonzalez will probably be a mainstay right there in that midfield. And they do have some players coming back as well. Kovacic made the bench midweek, makes it again. Shirky made the bench this weekend. Didn't make the squad, but he's there on the bench. Or didn't make the pitch, I should say. So yeah, they're getting players back. They're getting players back. Keith Andrews back to the drawing board, my friend. think you could have maybe had a little bit more determination to take the game to them. But look, it is what it is. 1-0 is nothing to really be so upset about when we're talking about playing City. All right, so that's all 10 fixtures, sorry. Before I pull up the standings for the week and the predictions and the donkey reveal as well. And then we're going to check in with my FPL at the end of the show. Let's first and foremost take a good look at the EPL table as we go into the international window. All right, so let me get that pulled up for you guys. So this is the table for the league as of the second international window, which is the October window, right? And this right here is how the relegation zone looks. So Wolves on 2 points, but they're trending in the right direction, people. After 5 losses, they have 2 draws in a row. West Ham, not quite a new manager bounce, I would say. They did get this win. But I want to say this was when Nuno was coaching the other team. So yeah, no, not quite a new manager bounce, but they did, obviously they got the draw against Everton, I believe it was. Yeah. They drew with Everton, that was his first game, and they lost to Arsenal. So tough second fixture, so I won't kill you too much. But let's see if after the international break, West Ham does experience a true new manager bounce. I do think the team is playing better under Nuno in the short sample size. Definitely showing more grit, determination, and more solid defensively. But let's see if he can keep it up. I think he will because he's a good coach. Burnley also in the relegation zone. They are on 4 points in 18th position. Nottingham Forest just outside of it. And Postecoglou. That's going to be something to watch all season. Does Nuno finish above Ange? Trust me, that would be like winning the Champions League for Nuno, just to stick it to them guys, Brentford, 7th position after their loss. I'm sorry, 16th position after their loss on 7 points. Leeds and Fulham both on 8 points, but Fulham with a slightly better goal difference. So they're in 14th. Aston Villa, Brighton, Newcastle all on 9 points. Villa in 13th, Brighton 12th, Newcastle in 11th. Of course, that's all due to goal difference. Man United in 10th position on 10 points. And they have a -2 goal difference. But of course, their next fixture versus Liverpool. This one will be at Anfield as well. So that should be an interesting one just back from the international break. Sunderland in 9th position, top 10 for a promoted club. Wonderful for them after 7 games. They're on 11 points now. They did lose this last game against Man United, but they should still feel good about their start to life after 7 games. Everton top 10 now as well after that win, moving from 8 to 11 points. That puts them into 8th position. Chelsea on 11 points as well after their win. Slightly better goal difference than Everton, so they're in 7th. And we have top 6, Crystal Palace in 6th on 12 points after their first loss of the season. Man City on 13 points in 5th position. 2 wins on the bounce for them. Bournemouth unbeaten in their last 5, up to 14 points in 4th. Also on 14 points is Spurs, but they're in 3rd position due to a better goal difference. And then Liverpool, after 5 wins to start the league campaign, 2 losses in a row. So they have relinquished first slot with 15 points in 2nd. And of course, Arsenal leapfrogs them after a win, draw, win, and a win in their last 4 to get to 16 points. So on the season, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Also 14 goals for, which is 2nd most goals in the league, and only conceding 3, which is the best or most stingy defense so far this league season in terms of goals against, right? So that is where we're at right now in the Prem. And let's go ahead and move right along. Before I take a look at the fantasy stuff, let me go ahead and do the big reveal. I see 23 of you in the building. Please stop what you're doing, like the video. I see we're up to 28 likes. Big up yourself, Eros. Didn't know you had forward into the building. Had to get through the content. Was seeing my time going a bit, far. So I kind of had to just focus in and get that last bit of information about the games in. So big up to all those who tune in since I was kind of ignoring the comment section, especially Eras. Don't know, big up yourself, bro. Thanks for the support as usual. I hope we don't just slot in Pinnock in the squad. Oh, like okay, I think you mean starting 11 there. Mm-hmm. This is the opposite of a new manager bound 0 wins. Yikes. Yeah, Endoy. What happened to Endoy? Nuno leaving happened to Endoy. And them change up them whole damn tactics, bro. I'm have to learn something else. The aesthetic mashup scored the goal in the wrong net. He and Dilo starting, says Float. He's not looking on to me, looking shaky, doesn't look confident. Hmm. Mo should be back for Everton. That's the City players, I'm assuming. He needs to be on the bench or behind it. Oh my word. No worry, man. I had one. Make sure you bring your opinionated self to tomorrow night show. Because I see all the reactors big up on yourself, all the creators, all the vloggers, all the whatever your name one would like to be. I see you come out with all the squad reactions and everything. No worry, man. The squad won't go anywhere. And it might be smart to wait a day or two because we don't know what we're going to hear forward to the travel day. So I am gonna do a show tomorrow night as my first initial show of the week for this Reggae Boys window, and it will be all about the squad reveal, my thoughts on the squad. If I think anybody was omitted wrongly or any changes I would make personally, and also respond to the press conference audio as well, because haven't listened to it because I was trying to just do a live reaction, but it's tough when you talk to people and they have seen it and they want your opinion on it and blah blah blah. So I kind of know some things that were said, but I have not watched it from start to finish, and I've done that on purpose. I want to actually react in real time to it. So look out for that tomorrow night, people. It will have been a couple of days removed from the release of it, but at the end of the day, the discussion on this channel has not been had. And you know that on this channel, it might be a little different than some of the other places. So looking forward to having that discussion with each and every one of you reggae boys and reggae girls fans tomorrow night, people. So I'll try to make that thumbnail tonight if I don't run out of energy, so that I can go ahead and set a time for all you lot to drop your likes and set your notification and all those things. And I will do my best to share when I do go live. But it definitely will be a night show. How late? I'm not really sure just yet, but trying not to do it too late. But we'll see. Might have to. Yo, 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 yo. Big up BM. It would be funny if Omari gets relegated in consecutive seasons. First, not doing too well. BM not like Omari, brother. Jeez, peace. I strongly believe in chemistry, coach, but cannot experiment with too much with the 11. All right. Tomorrow we'll get into that. I had one. No worry yourself. And getting relegated and winning a championship next year makes sense. You always win things in the second season. Exactly. More hair flicks than goals, Jokeres. Yeah, he's over three. He's definitely over three hair flicks, and he have 3 goals. So he will come through. It took Henry time as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not ready to. I think Arteta did play to his strengths more yesterday. I mean, there was way more through passes yesterday and over the top balls, and there was way more of that. Channel breaking passes that result in a cutback or some kind of cross along the ground or something like that's Jokeres. That's why we're doing that. He just didn't finish his dinner a couple of times. Or the ball was just off, like the one that Saka gave him was just a little behind him. He couldn't do nothing with it. So yeah, it is. I see some tweaks, man. The first pass out wide, we're now playing that boom over the top, up and over for the third man runner to run onto. We weren't doing that as frequently before. We would the winger would get it, hold it, recycle back to the middle, go back to the center back, switch the field, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's pretty much what was going on. All right, so let me get to the. Did I not add these yet? Okay, let me add them now. So let me get the table and the winner. Let me get the winners. So we'll reveal the winners first. All right. So let me get myself. Hold on there. All right. All right. So this right here, people, is the table for the week. Drum roll, please. So we have basically the top four. Well, first, second, and there were two tied for third, and then a fifth place. So we have the top five for the week that I'm about to reveal, and here goes for the week. Jason Gooner TV Week 7 prediction table looks a little like this. Fifth position, we had BBK Sports 6-4 with 2 correct games. BBK Sports got the 2-1 Tottenham Leeds and 2-0 Man United Sunderland games. Big up to BBK Sports. If you haven't already, go and drop a subscription. The ones with the wrenches in the chat, please drop BBK's channel for me right away. Sheridan, big up yourself. Original foundation sub to the channel. 6-4, good week. And for Sheridan, 6-4, he had 3 games predicted correctly. Also had the 2-1 Tottenham Leeds game. Also had the 2-0 to Arsenal and the 2-1 Aston Villa Burnley result as well. So big up Sheridan and Game Birds tying as well with the same record, 6-4 with 3 correct scores. Game Birds was able to get the 2-1 Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Burnley as well, and the 2-0 Newcastle prediction spot on. So that made up the third, fourth, fifth place, or tied third and fifth place. Second place, falling just short of a title this week, was Duckland, and he got a 7-3 record with 1 correct score. His 1 correct score was also the 2-1 Chelsea over Liverpool matchup. All right. Then we had Float Management winning for the week with a 7-3 record and 3 correct scores. Like I said, this week everybody was getting correct scores except for me and a few others. But Float Management was able to take the title this week because he had more correct scores than Duke. Also had 2-1 Tottenham Leeds, 2-1 Chelsea Liverpool, and 2-1 Aston Villa Burnley. So well done to everybody that took part in this week's picks. Like I said, every single player except one had a losing record this week. So you kind of can figure out now that we do have one, can't even call them a winner, one loser of the week. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Float. Congratulations on a trophy, you know. Need my soundboard now. All right, and then we have, sad to say, I have to reveal the worst selector for the week, or the worst predictor for the week. And this is becoming a bit of a habit for this person. I would hate to see it because at the end of the season, we will have a donkey of the year, and that will be given to whoever has been donkey of the week the most times. And Fitzroy Grizzle, I'm sad to say, my brother, you're on your way to being in contention for that because you had a 4-6 record. You did get 1 game predicted perfectly, and that game was 2-0 Newcastle over Forest. But boy, you were the only one not able to go at least 5-5 this week. And by virtue of that, you see the big hee-haw up on the screen. You are donkey of the week. I am a good owner though, because I always have grass for you to graze. And as you can see, you know, we have replenished all the grass that the 3 of you ate out last week, you know. Pristine, what was my pick? Well, Pristine, to be honest, you had 1, 2, 3 games wrong, and I never got a score for you for the Man City game, which you would have gotten that right as well, I would think, but I never saw it. Yeah, I take care of the land where the donkey's gonna graze, you know, so each week it gets replenished. But Pristine, I mean, technically, I could have very well messed up and just not seen your last pick, but I never had you down for a last pick. So technically, people, if Pristine would have guessed 1-0 Man City, he would have won. But I could not include Pristine because I did not have that last pick from Pristine. And I hate that happened because Pristine had a great week going, But I never got Pristine's last pick for the week. And I mean, I was going to give Pristine the win, but knowing Pristine is an upset picker, because Pristine always go for things where people just wouldn't go for. So I didn't want to assume that Pristine went for Man City, And I didn't realize until it was too late that I didn't have Pristine's pick for that game. So yeah, by default, Pristine couldn't get the title this week. But Pristine, you were 6-3 with 3 correct scores. So you did really well. I just never got a pick for the last one. Yeah, you would count 7 because I never had the pick. I just never wrote it. What I would need to do is go back to the last show and look in the live chat and see if I actually missed you putting it. Because I would have wrote it down. Why would I not have wrote it down? I want to say even at the end of the show, you might have been gone already, but I had said like, yo, Pristine, give me a City score. Or I was like, these are all the people who played, and I don't have scores for this person, that person, this person, right? And yeah, but either way, well, we might have to give you an honorary. I'm gonna actually put a little asterisk by your name this week because I feel like it's me causing you not to get the joint title this week. Because I agree with you. I think you would have went for a City win. I just don't think you would have gone 1-0. So you wouldn't have gotten a tiebreak point for another correct score. So you and Float would have actually had the 7-3 with the 3 correct scores, So yeah, I'm gonna actually wrote it in so that when I do my tally for the season, I can make sure to count you as a winner this week too. Because I agree with you. I'm not going to think you're gonna be so mad to go for a Brentford, 3-1 win over City or something like that. So yeah. But yo, I'm really I go through right now, City 3-1, I see it. But and I think I might have messed up because I might have put Brighton 3-1. So I didn't mess that up. All right, so City 3-1. So it's official, people. I will adjust the screen and the sticker and everything, the scoreboard. Pristine and Float Management are the champs for the week. Fitzroy Grizzle, my condolences. You are the donkey of the week. All right. Now, one last thing before we sign off. 2 hours in the books. So let's get off of YouTube. It's been long enough. We don't want to keep you here all night. It is now what? Almost 11 o'clock where I am. Almost 10 in Jamaica. Thanks to all you who tuned in tonight. I know most of my Jamaican fan base probably, and one of my Jamaican brothers or sisters for that matter, live shows talking about the squad. So everybody that tuned in, really greatly appreciate it. You could have been somewhere else tonight, but you chose to stay and follow along with the show. But let me go ahead and drop how my teams did in fantasy this week, people. So I play draft leagues as well. So let me get that up on the screen before I show you how my traditional fantasy team did this week. Let's see if we moved up any higher in the world, right? All right. All right. So this is one of my teams, Yakins. Not doing so well. I'm in 6th position out of 7 teams in this league. Quite a hefty margin that I'm behind right now, but not too perturbed about that. Still early days. Couple big weeks in a row, and you're right back in the mix. And I am more than capable of pulling that off. So this was how the team did this week to get the 42. I have Becca as one of my keepers, and when it's a draft league, you really want to not trade away prized assets like Becca, even though he's injured. So I'll hold on to him and hope that Roofs can get me some points in this time frame. Now, where I messed up was Liverpool playing Chelsea. I went with benching Cucurella, starting Alderete. Like I said, my prediction this week was 1-0 to Sunderland. So I'm thinking, hey, Alderete will get me a clean sheet and some bonus points and blah, blah, blah. Well, that wasn't the case. He got me none. Trufair, O'Reilly, Munoz did their thing for me on that back line. Munoz, it was looking like a great day until they conceded 2 goals to Everton late. Sar, back playing, back giving me points. Love to see it. Saka, 8 points for me. I like that as well. Shade was somebody that I picked up. Just, I liked something about, what did I get this guy for? Okay, yeah, I think I like the West Ham away fixture, maybe. I don't know. But yes, I got him this week and started him against City. Not sure why I did that. Zubimendi, I had this funny feeling that the coach was going to go attacking in midfield. So I just thought Zubimendi would come on in the game, which he did. But he came on so early that he still got a 1 point extra for the clean sheet bonus. But I was right, though. I figured it would be Rice, Odegaard, and Eze in that midfield. I didn't think he was going to play Rice and Zubimendi at home to West Ham. So good that the coach is actually trying that and not going send two CDMs every single time. So yeah, that's how I got 42 points in this league. Now I'm in another draft league with Moss Sports World. Big up yourself, Moss. Don't really see him on the shows as much anymore, but he still drop his picks. So I put him in there every week. Well, he invited me to be in his draft league, and people, I got one of the hottest beats in the world. Now you see right here where it says loss. So in this league, right, you actually play an opponent each week, like a match. And I played this brother John Johnson, or 3 strikes. Like Yakwork is my team. Brother, 56, 55 me losing. And I was up the whole entire weekend. But look how the man passed me. Vardy, I'll get 12 and Ruben get 9. Literally, that's how the man passed me today. You know? 21 points out of them two, brother. And that cut my throat today. If them just have 9s each, I win. So yeah, I got 55 points, which is very good in draft for a week. And this is how I got there. Henderson, Trippier, Gahey. So if they keep the clean sheet, right? If they keep the clean sheet or Man City gets scored on, either one. Because I had O'Reilly getting points, but he had O'Reilly, Diaz, Vardial. And of course, Vardial is the man of the match. And Diaz is the third best player of the match. So they both got bonus points. So it was just, if O'Reilly gets 2 points bonus, I win, So it's the guy had everything happen for him, But yeah, Rice and Semenyo did their thing for me. 29 between them. Backline did a lot of points for me. Everybody else was struggling. Cucurella on my bench again with 7 points. So yeah, it is what it is. Cucurella was benched everywhere for me. I think I have him in this league too. But this one I got a 52 points and I'm moving up only 31 off the top. So yeah, this one I feel strongly that I can really make a push now. But yeah, 52 points. Again, over 15 draft leagues is good because you don't have triple captain and wild card and all these things to get bonuses with. Timber in this one, thank God I have Timber in something. I definitely considering getting him in FPL at this point. He's just scoring too many points frequently. Kudus in this one gave me 12. Sar in this one as well gave me 7. Rogers finally scored something extra. And my strikers, just both of these guys not finishing their dinner. Both had enough chances to score at least one today. Mateta could have had 2, but it wasn't meant to be. So 52. So that's all my draft teams now. Let's check in with the official fantasy now. How is this not logged in? I don't know. People, remember, please do smash the like button. We're about to close off the show for the night, but I just wanted to show you how the fantasy was going for the week. So let's take a look at, before I look at my score, let's just look at the leagues I'm playing in, right? So, well, first, let's just look around the world. So right now, in the whole entire world, people, starting the week, I was 153,000. I made like a 70,000 jump to 82,000. So I go and watch that, people. I can make that jump the next week, 70 more thousand, then I reach really far, In the US right now, I'm in the top 3,000, 2642. So that's everybody that live in the United States playing the game. I'm in about the top 3,000, right? And then Arsenal fans, which is probably worldwide, I'm in the top 10,500. So that's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. Now, when you look at the leagues that I'm actually in, with like obviously less people than all over the world, I'm first in mine. So this is my group right here. My cousin Nick is in second, but I pulled away this week a little bit more, just 4 points. So he had a good week too. Demo is in my league as well. He's in third. T-Gat, big up yourself. T-Gat in fourth. Mikhail Blair fifth. Ball Pre six. Drew Ross seven. Grizzle eight. Adrian Allen 9. And then basically going all the way down. 24 people signed up for this, and oh, you hate to see it. Duke in last place. My gosh. Duke, what you do, man? Real Ballers FC. Big up yourself to Real Ballers. So, Grimy, we down here, so. What you do down here, so, Grimy? 47 points. Come on, man. So it looks like boys next door are the best week this week. 86 points. So I could see how 86 reached that team, yeah. So I've never used no chips. That's good. We have Sells, Gabriel, Byrne, Tarkowski, Bruno G. So at them carry him this week. Grealish get that goal. Man of the match probably. Haaland with an 8. And he captain Minte. Damn. So if he had just captain Haaland and stopped trying to be a wise person, man would I get how much more? Would I get 6 more? Would I get 92? All right, so best week in this one, mine this week, 86 points for Corey Tennant, boys next door. Big up yourself. Good week. All right, back to the thing. My sports world, I'm in his FPL thing as well, and I'm leading that one by 5. Got 81 this week in this one. Looks like somebody else got an 86, so that's the high score for this week, but 81 I will take any day of the week. Sports DTM League, them I got tired of seeing my face, me they are first again, and this one I have a bigger gap. So yeah, the race not for the swift people, so we're gonna keep checking this. I might drop next week to 6, you never know. And King of Jamaica, right now I'm the king, first position by a good margin. And then this one is the one I'm most proud of because this one have about 500 odd people or 600, and I'm all the way up to third now, only 12 points behind the lead. And yeah, 81 points this week. So you guys want to know how we got there, right? So I did wild card this week. I finally bit the bullet and did the wild carding. I got Gabriel in my team and he repaid me instantly with a 9. I got Pope as my keeper. I was torn between Ryan and Pope, but I wanted to get everybody's going double up on Arsenal's defense. I like our fixture so much right now that I wanted to double up attack. So I went Saka and Gyökeres. Didn't work out for me with Gyökeres this week, but I think I'm going to give him one more week because I want to just try to save up my transfers so I can have a week where I have about 3 or 4, and then I'll make some adjustments. So it's like a mini wild card in a way. And if obviously if I have an injury crisis hit me or anything like that, bad matchups for everybody, I will just free hit and then use that up for that week. I still have my free hit chip to play. So look, I've used 3 chips already, which is not ideal. A lot of people maybe haven't used bench boost as yet, and to be honest, it's a lot smarter to use your bench boost after your wild card, because typically when you wild card, you have, took a stock of what's going on in the game, and you can really pick out the budget people well, and you might have a week where all your players have good matchups. So, I don't have that luxury to have that to play, and I know that in these coming weeks, a lot of people are going to use up chips, and so going to have to really play smart to keep the lead right now because I have shot a few of my bullets already. But this is how I got to the 81 people. It helps to not bench any big points, which didn't happen this week. And then Haaland, I did captain. Obviously, I could have gotten a lot much better with much more points this week if I captained Semenyo. But I'll take the 18 and the 16 and the 12. That's a nice, 3 right there to give you a good bunch of points. Then the 8 and the 9 from the Arsenal boys with 2 from Gyökeres and 19 from those 3. Not bad. Pope, definitely thinking about doubling up on Newcastle's defense though. So now that I have Pope, I'm probably going to look for the best budget-friendly Newcastle player, which is probably going to be hard to find at this point with them doing so well. But the additions of Theo and Batman to the starting lineup might help me to find a way in. All right, so we'll take a check and see what I can do there. But people, that's pretty much it for this week, man. Jason Gooner TV, it's always my pleasure as usual to bring you guys this content on a Friday, a Sunday, a Monday, whatever day it is required. You will see me here to drop this for you. Also, people, this is the end of the EPL for a couple of weeks, so you don't know where my focus is going to the Jamaica national team. We will be back in business. Tomorrow is travel day for most of the players after playing their games this weekend. And hopefully everything goes well with all the flights, all the players getting in. And I don't want to hear of too many dropouts this go around. Hopefully none. That would be great. It would be a first, but it would still be something that I would love to see. So maybe by tomorrow, I have some updates for you as far as the squad is concerned. Hopefully not, but you can never put it past this situation that we have coming up right now. So people, we're going to switch gears for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, tomorrow will be my official squad reaction to the name squad that was named Saturday. Also going to play the press conference for you guys and react in real time. I have not listened to it in full yet. So you will see my facial expressions. You will hear my thoughts in real time. I think it's going to be a little more authentic than when I listen to it already and then come listen to it again, because I'll be paying much closer attention because I haven't heard it before, right? So that's my strategy for tomorrow, people. First things first, we're going to listen to, well, I'll just read through the list first of players, and then we can talk a little bit about that. We'll listen to what the coach had to say, react to that, and then we'll just have a big discussion about the team and what we think, who should be there that's not there, who's there that shouldn't be there, and vice versa. And I'm sure it will be a nice and colorful conversation the whole way through. I have some thoughts on it that I won't reveal yet. I'm going to wait till tomorrow when I come out with the show. And like I said, I know that there's a game tonight with one of our players that should be traveling tomorrow. That's going to start really late, so that should keep me up. It's actually going to start in about 3 minutes. And that is Tijuana and Monterrey. Big side Monterrey they're facing. Sad to say though, the baller that I'll be watching the game for is on the bench, which means I'll probably be up, which will give me time to make a thumbnail for tomorrow, put it out so that you guys can find it, click on it, drop likes, and so we can, start to gain the momentum for when we go live on that show. All right, people, but I will do my job, share it around. All those who sent in some comments towards the end of the show, maximum respect, people. I'm not going to go back through all of them, but you guys know yourselves, the legends that you are, those who tune in each and every week, drop comments, engage, drop likes, share the content, like the streams. Some of you have become members of the channel. We greatly appreciate that. Just want to know you guys are the real stars, the real MVPs. Without you guys, it's really pointless. If I'm just talking to this screen with no one to interact with, it's a very boring show. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for taking the time and using the time to share with me. We're just discussing football, so it shouldn't be that hard to give me a time for that. But still, you have to do it, right? So we always appreciate it. But anyway, people, without any more chattings, I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. We're into the international window for October. Come on, you Gooners. Keep first place. After 38 weeks, I want to see you in the same spot. Big up on yourselves. Thanks so much. We out.